A storm on Sunday has complicated efforts to find an Argentine submarine missing in the South Atlantic. The ARA San Juan has 44 crew members on board and has been missing since Wednesday. Now Argentina's Navy says it can't confirm if 7 brief satellite calls received a day earlier were from the lost submarine. In regard to these emissions, we are carefully analyzing the possibility of confirming that they came from the San Juan submarine. We do not have clear evidence that the calls have come from that unit. Given the conditions in the area of operations, the effort is fundamentally based on the aerial resource because the sea conditions make it difficult to operate the surface units. The submarine was some 430 kilometers off Argentina's coast when its location was last known early on Wednesday. Boats equipped with radar detection probes have been following the vessel's path, but have yet to find any sign of the submarine on the ocean floor. At the Mar del Plata naval base, messages of support for the sailors. We trust in God. We are waiting for you. Panama is on track to hit a record level of illegal drug seizures after authorities confiscated some 2 tons of cocaine near the country's border with Colombia. Total confiscations for 2017 are expected to exceed the previous annual record of 72 tons seized last year. Security Minister Alexis Betancourt said the increase is due to better coordination among law enforcement agencies, as well as help from international allies. Panamanian authorities say they have seen a spike in drug trafficking and violence since Colombia signed a peace deal with Marxist FARC rebels last year.
In Greece, rescuers have recovered the body of a 20th victim of last week's flash floods in the outskirts of Athens. Specialized disaster response crews were combing the area for 2 men still missing. They were concentrating on the town of Mandra, the hardest hit area in the west of the capital. This resident says the situation is dramatic. Our main problem is that we don't have water. The water that we have, there's very little of it. And if things continue like this, it's possible that we'll soon face health problems. Heavy rainfall caused a torrent of mud and water to sweep through the coastal towns of Mandra and Nea Peramos last Wednesday, flooding homes, damaging businesses, and destroying roads. The Greek government has said it would offer emergency compensation worth millions of euros to hundreds of households affected by the flooding.
A motion is to be presented before Zimbabwe's parliament today as impeachment proceedings begin against President Robert Mugabe. It follows the expiring of Monday's deadline demanding that the 93-year-old leader resign. Normally, the process is a long-winded affair involving joint sessions of the Senate and National Assembly, followed by committee meetings needing a 2/3 majority. However, the ruling ZANU-PF party is expected to push it through quickly.
The main charge is that he has allowed his wife to usurp constitutional power when she has no right to run government. But she's insulting civil servants, the vice president, at public rallies. They are denigrating the army, and those are the charges.
Zimbabwe's military says talks are planned between President Mugabe and the former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa, whose sacking 2 weeks ago triggered the recent military intervention. Mnangagwa is due to return to Zimbabwe shortly. Calls have gone out for people to remain calm during the political crisis, but there have been street demonstrations in the capital, Harare. Students took to the streets singing anti-Mugabe songs and brandishing anti-Mugabe placards. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said she would prefer new elections to leading a minority government. Her comments came in an interview on German television following Sunday night's collapse of attempts to form a 3-way coalition. I do not have a minority government in my planning, but now we have to wait for the next few days, and the road to new elections is one way. Although Merkel has been significantly weakened by the failure of the talks following September's election, she said she had no intention of resigning. Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has told the different parties they owed it to voters to try again to form a government amid this unprecedented crisis.
Alle in den Bundestag gewählten politischen Parteien,
all political parties that have been voted into the German parliament are committed to representing the public interest. They serve our country. I expect all of them to be ready to talk to try to form a government in the near future.
in absehbarer Zeit möglich zu machen.
His remarks appeared aimed at the FDP, whose leader, Christian Lindner, announced on Sunday that he was pulling out of the negotiations as there were strong disagreements with other parties. The President's remarks were also aimed at the Social Democrats, led by Martin Schulz, who on Monday ruled out once again renewing his grand coalition with Merkel's Conservatives. A recent poll shows that a new election would bring roughly the same result as in September, with the Greens set to see the biggest gains.
Two major EU agencies are leaving London because of Brexit, and Paris and Amsterdam are greeting them with open arms. 8 European cities had bid for the European Banking Authority, or EBA, but 3 rounds of voting failed to produce a winner, and the French capital was ultimately picked over Dublin in a lucky dip. Set up in 2011, the EBA is best known for its stress tests, introduced to avoid a repeat of the 2008 financial crisis. Over 1,000 people work for both the EBA and the European Medicines Agency, or EMA, which approves new medicines in the EU.
É deporte da Camina, despesa e espaço comercial na continuação.